The final stretch of the season is heating up, but the Detroit Lions are facing massive challenges. Head coach Dan Campbell has provided a worrying update on the return of John Cominsky, a key defensive player battling a severe injury. Meanwhile, the pivotal showdown against the Bears demands a flawless performance from a defensive line devastated by injuries. Can the Lions overcome these obstacles and maintain their dominance in the NFC? Stay tuned, as this report brings you everything you need to know about the team's critical moment, and don't forget to like this video to support the content. The news isn't great for Lions pass rusher John Cominsky. The 29-year-old veteran, who tore his ACL during training camp in July, had been fighting for a miraculous return in the season's final stretch. However, head coach Dan Campbell all but closed the door on that possibility this week, sharing a grim update on his condition. "I think it's unlikely. Man, he tried," Campbell told reporters on Wednesday, as reported by Corey Woods of Mass Live. Campbell praised Cominsky's rehabilitation efforts and the medical team working with him, but admitted that overcoming this final hurdle has been tough. Cominsky has been with the Lions since 2022, joining after being waived by the Falcons. He quickly became a key player in Detroit's defensive rotation. In his first season with the Lions, he recorded 4 sacks, 3 passes defended, 1 forced fumble, 12 quarterback hits, and 30 combined tackles in 14 games. His performance earned him a 2-year, $8.5 million contract during the following offseason. In 2023, he continued his solid contributions, racking up 36 combined tackles, 8 quarterback hits, 2 sacks, and 1 pass defended in 16 games, including 11 starts. But now, with the injury he suffered in the summer, his absence adds to the headaches for a defense already plagued by injuries this year. Despite these challenges, the Lions remain at the top of both the NFC North and the entire NFC, boasting an impressive 12-2 record ahead of their Week 16 matchup against the Bears at Soldier Field. Even with the injuries, Detroit's defense has held its ground, allowing just 20.1 points per game, 7th best in the NFL, and ranking 14th in total yards allowed, with 335.8 per game. Do you think the Lions will feel Cominsky's absence during this final stretch? Share your thoughts in the comments. But hold on, Sunday's game against the Bears brings an even more intriguing situation for Detroit's defense. The Detroit Lions are gearing up for a crucial clash against the Chicago Bears, and their shorthanded defensive line will be the key to keeping things under control. Despite a long list of injuries, this unit needs to step up to keep alive their hopes of clinching not just the division title, but also the NFC's top seed. Let's be honest, even with an impressive 12-2 record, the Lions are limping toward the finish line. With over 20 players on the injury report, the situation is dire. This team has been in survival mode for months, shuffling lineups and overcoming obstacles. And with just 3 games left in the regular season, Detroit can't afford any mistakes. It all begins with Sunday's matchup against the Bears. On Thanksgiving, the Lions dominated Chicago, but it wasn't without difficulty. The Bears nearly pulled off a comeback in that game, and Detroit knows better than to underestimate them, especially given the injuries that have piled up since then. The Lions' defensive line in particular has suffered greatly. They lost both starting defensive ends in Week 6, forcing the front office to seek reinforcements through trades. Now they're down to just 1 starting defensive tackle from the beginning of the season. The good news? The Bears' offensive line is a complete mess. Chicago has allowed 56 sacks this season, the most in the league, and with several starters injured, things have only worsened. Among the injured Bears players are some of their top blockers, such as Braxton Jones and Tevin Jenkins, whose statuses for Sunday remain uncertain. This means Chicago may have to rely on backups who have struggled to protect their quarterback, Caleb Williams, who has already been under constant pressure. Even with a few solid players like Matt Pryor and Darnell Wright, the Bears' offensive line stats are disappointing, creating a huge opportunity for the Lions. Despite their challenges, Detroit's defense showed strength in their last meeting with Chicago, recording 5 sacks. Players like DJ Reader and Zadarius Smith were instrumental in that game and will need to replicate their performances. Now, with reinforcements like Josh Paschal and Levi Onwuzurike available, the defensive line has every chance to dominate the matchup once again. If the Lions can exploit the weaknesses in the Bears' offensive line, particularly against potential backups, there's no reason they can't secure an away victory in Week 16. Even with so many injuries, the Lions continue to show resilience, but the margin for error is razor thin. The defensive line needs to dominate the Bears to keep their dream of being the NFC's best team alive. Can they pull it off? We'll just have to watch and see. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel for all the latest updates on your favorite team.